Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us for another lovely conversation. We are on location at La Casita Restaurant and Lounge, which happens to be along Intindatu Road in Naguru, a lovely restaurant with beautiful gardens. And joining me today, I have a lady who some people would say has a sweet tooth, but I don't know. She's a baker. When you think about most cartoons, bakers are very chub, but she isn't. She has a huge following on the Facebook page that is Cake Shop Uganda, and of course she is the managing director of Cakely Uganda. I do have Asha Batenga.
Yay.
Hi. How are you?
I'm very fine. How are you?
I'm good. Aren't you supposed to be chubby? Don't you eat your cakes?
The hair.
The hair. I hope I'm the only person who's asked you that.
No, everyone
Really?
everyone asks me that. Like sometimes people come and they're picking cake, and then maybe they ask me, where is Asha? And then before I never used to understand why they're asking me where is Asha. So I'll be like, I'm Asha. And they're like, really? You're Asha? Okay. Do you eat your cakes? So now what I do, I go back inside and then I come. I'm like, this is Asha, meet Asha. And then they're like, so everyone asks me that, and I don't know. I'm used to it now.
How does it feel being such a brand?
It's double. I think it is like double feeling. Sometimes it feels good. Sometimes it feels bad that you can't go somewhere and be something else. Like everyone is watching. So it's sometimes even on the road, you can't like hoot and say, get off the road. Someone will say, hi Asha. Okay, so you just have to be like polite, wait, and yeah, you just have to be that person. You must behave all the time. Yeah.
Okay. So I know like baking is one of many businesses that you have done, right? Because I remember seeing an interview you did and you said you did so many different ones. Did you start with clothing?
I've done so many businesses. I started working at a very early age. By senior 6 VAC, I was already working. I had my first job. Imagine right now I'm in restaurant, but my first job was in restaurant. You can imagine in my senior 6 VAC, I was working for a coffee shop.
Okay.
Inside workers' house, and it was like it was a very good experience for me. And when I look back, I feel like it has helped me somewhere. So I started like that. It was supposed to be like, I told my mom, I'm looking for a job in my vacation.
Okay.
She was like, no. You know how parents
Was it for convincing? Yes, it was for convincing.
So it was for convincing. Then I had a deal. I told her, you know what, Mom? If you let me work, I'll pay 50% of my tuition at uni.
Okay.
Yeah, because I really wanted to
Why were you
work.
offering? That's a lot of money.
I really wanted to work. And even in school, I used to tell people like, it was like a vision board. Then it wasn't a vision board. It was just me speaking into my future. Now I know it's a vision board. So I said, I'm going to work, make money. I have to put on good clothes. So I really loved money. I really loved money. And I think I've never been that person who is expecting money from other people. So that is like pushed me to work.
Yeah, I have to make money.
I have to make money.
I have to have my own money.
I have to enjoy my own money. So when I got my first job, it was like one of the happiest days of my life. Like, okay, now I was a waitress and I was very happy. My salary was either 80K or 100K. But I was the happiest. I remember when I got that money, I put my bag around the neck my first month of like, let no one steal this money. And I got home and I gave it away to everyone. Of like, it was like a first seed.
Oh, wow.
I was like, guys, I'm rich.
My first salary.
I gave away all the money. But it was so satisfying. From workers' house, I think that is how like Asha started out.
Okay.
And that is how I got to understand that I really love money. So that pushed me to being an entrepreneur. So from workers' house, I moved into NGO. After NGO, I moved into the clothing that you're saying. Actually, before I was doing 2 jobs.
Okay.
I had my business, and then I was also working in an NGO.
So was this campus, or you had finished campus?
Now this was campus.
Okay.
Now when I joined campus, like the restaurant business was hard for me to balance, because some shifts would go in the night, so I had now to get plan B. So I started off in one day. A friend of mine gave me money of like, let's work together. I started on with like a small shop. Then after I left, I went to Maria's Galleria. I had a shop there. I started like bringing things, going to Kenya. But before that, do you know that I managed to fulfill my promise of paying 50% of my tuition? Yes, I was paying 50% of my tuition, and it was exciting. So I was doing that, and then I failed. My business failed. Mabanja. I'll pay you end of month. Rent is high. Everything.
Promises. Credit.
Then you have a full-time job. You have to balance it out. So it was hard. So there I was like, okay, close shop. I went home. I started doing business online. Sell this, but it wasn't like that consistent. Then I entered like construction business.
Okay.
Yeah, that is like a part where people get shocked, like
hardware,
like materials of like sand, stones, bricks. So I would go to people's sites. Sometimes they would think I'm KCCA. Imagine I'm putting on heels, a skirt, my tag, and I'm knocking on people. So sometimes you would get into a site and people are taking off. And at first I never used to understand why are people taking off. Like sometimes I'd even look behind. I would also like as if I'm running. Then one day it is a guy who told me, like, you see the way you dress, like it is so official. So we fear people who are official. Like, are they going to lock down our site? Are they going to? So, oh my God. So I would like introduce myself from the gate. This is Asha from Brickworld. I'm selling building materials.
Please don't run away from me.
So, like, it would be interesting because people would see this little girl trying to sell. It is dirty work. You understand? It is like so
were
dirty.
You doing that with someone else? Did someone give you the
our
idea?
Company, it's like we had a company and we used to outsource and also produce at the same time.
Okay.
So now we used to sit in office. Me, marketing manager, I'll sit on my table and then I start like advertising on Facebook because I love that. But then I realized that my other businesses were working well on social media, but construction is not.
Okay.
It wasn't. I even did real estate before. So the things I've done. So now I was like, okay, who is my target market? How do I find them? So one day I was driving, and then I was like, wait a minute, this is a site.
Okay.
I have what they need. So I went, I asked, okay, who is the fundi? I didn't even know those things. Who is the fundi? Who is the site manager? Who is in charge? Guys, show me who is in charge. So that is how it all started. Then I'm like, okay, I engaged them, and then they dared me. They're like, really? That's what you sell? Okay, bring, we shall pay when it gets here. And indeed they paid. So I got so excited. I started printing out like how do they call them? The bills, the price list.
Yes.
So I had my like price list, and then I would clip on a brochure, a business card. So when I come, I just give you my price list. Just showing you the sand, the stones, everything. So it became easy. The more I did it, became easier for me. Then I'll tell you, I'll bring you a sample. You want pavers? I'll come and bring you pavers. I would just move with them in the car, and I would give samples. You want stones? I would have like bags of stones. So it was so interesting. The company grew so much. I became too attached to the company, and I became even a partner to the company. It was like so exciting.
How old were you at this point?
Crystal, now I say I'm 25.
You tell us then.
So if I tell you then people are going like to go 12. Back. Yeah, I'm going to go back and carry it and say, Asha.
Okay, but Asha, this love for business, like, was there someone in your family who was business minded? Did anyone take you under their wing? I mean, like, how did this play out? This is
I think this is me. You know, all of us, there is that thing that God inputs in us. So it's about like the nurturing, and because I wasn't surrounded by business people, but even in the family, like my siblings, they'll be like, "You're going to work," like.
They didn't understand.
Yes, I was like that girl who would be like, "Okay, bye, I'm off." Like up to now, my mom says, "But you were never home for some reason."
Because you were always out there doing something.
Doing in school. Now let me take you back to high school. I'm that person who used to sell movie tickets
in school.
Like there is a movie, Asha will have the tickets and she'll sell. If we are taking a trip, Asha will collect money and I take it to Lugogo and I make my money on the side.
So you were like doing small trips and
small trips. That is me. You want to go to Nabinonya those ends? Eh? Asha is the person. So I was that person. And I think I treasured work and the love for money. You know, it is a bad thing in our society to say, I love money, to say it out loud.
I like that you're saying it because...
So people feel like, is she a thief?
That's the thing, because I think the perception is when you say, I love money, you will do anything for money.
Exactly.
And those two things can be very separate.
Very separate, because money drives us. Some of us, it is the feeling of like, I have some money in my pocket. Now me, when I have money, I don't even eat. Gosh, when I have money.
What do you mean?
When I have money in my pocket.
So you don't take yourself out?
When
I'm
you
feeling very guilty. That's what some of us do.
When you see me broke, I will be out eating. I hate that feeling of being broke. So I end up eating so much when I'm broke. I want to show myself that, Asha, you can afford. So me, it is the opposite of like,
so weird.
I don't stress eat.
Okay. So it's to remind yourself that,
yes,
you know
that
what?
you can afford.
This will pass.
This will pass. So when I don't have money and I feel like I can't afford something, I fight so much. To me, it is like a prophecy. Like, I don't put myself in that place of like, now when I have money, oh, I'm feeling good. I am full. I am satisfied. I am okay. So it came like that. And then the construction grew so much that the growth was also the failure.
Oh. Because
we underlooked so many things and we started giving out credit so much. Nachitulia. You know when you are moving so fast, maybe you're driving so fast and then a tree just boom on your car. That's what happened. Okay. I was moving so fast. I was that person who everyone would be like,
by the time you're telling me you had the materials in your car, you're driving here, there, everywhere.
I was fast. I was excited.
And yet sometimes you have to build the... I mean, you've been in business all these years.
Yeah, and I didn't know so much. Now I was dealing with big money. Because construction is big money. Yeah. The profit might be low, but the money is... Yes. If someone is going to ask for 100 million order. In Kaki, if you ask me for 100 million, I can't even close the bakery. I can close the bakery and someone and get all this week or this month.
This one client only.
Yes, so 100 million is so much. Yeah. So construction, so it collapsed. It failed. I felt so bad because from school, I had never stopped working. I was work.
And you just felt like you're growing, building.
And then everything goes down. So when everything went down, I was hit. Then I didn't understand what depression was. But now I know that I was depressed because I was very angry at myself. I would be at home. The only thing I would do is watch series. I remember I watched Jack Bauer a lot. That was between 2013 and 2015. But it really hit me in 2014 that actually, Asha, you're nothing.
Why would you say those words?
I was.
But that's how you felt at that time.
That's how I felt, and I didn't know any better. So I went down. No, actually, I wasn't on the ground. I was below the ground. Because even the little I had was taken away from me.
Okay, so you lost everything.
I lost everything. Atenga bamanja. So now there you're in negatives. So it hit me so bad that I would look at people who are slaying. And I'm like, for them, they're just slaying. They're not even working. But they're way happier than I am. So I would feel like, well, why have you even been working? So it was like a very hard time for me, like, to realize that it was experience, to realize that I had to go through that to take me where I am today.
Yes.
Then I did understand.
Of
because I
course.
started working very early. I was still so
No,
young.
when you're in it, by the way, people say,
Yes.
oh, don't worry.
Don't worry.
It will pass. You know, look at the silver lining. But when you're in it.
When you're in it, let me tell you, it was very emotional for me. And you see, I'm very talkative, but I don't know how to talk about my problems. Like,
okay. So you
that
couldn't
gift I
ask
didn't
for
get.
help.
That gift I didn't get. It's my mom who'd feel sorry for me. And then when would send me some rent money of like, but you go look for a job. You studied IT. You're connected. You know people. I'm like,
and you felt like you couldn't see yourself being employed?
yeah, in NJ I was employed and I was doing a bit of IT there. I was doing my IT, but that wasn't it for me. It wasn't it. I think IT opened a door for me, but it couldn't sustain me. So I have a friend who usually says that Asha si wakola IT na ye watu sala. She also did IT. Yeah, but right now I no longer call it a loss. Before I was like, it's a loss because I wasn't doing, but I see the doors it has
now you see it
for me. And just people knowing that, yes, you're a baker, but you went to school. It's very important in our society.
Thank you, it is.
It is. So
much as we may say it's not.
It's very important. Every person needs it. If you have access to school, do it. You may not do what you're studying, but it is going to open like doors. To me, it has, up to now, it opened doors for me.
Because you don't know what opportunity is going to come your way, and they say, okay, can we have your qualifications?
Exactly.
Even if you are the most qualified person or experienced, should I say.
It even opens, like someone gives an open, it's like, this is Asha, she's a baker, but she studied information technology at Macquarie. And I'm like, yay! My school fees didn't die. So now that transition, I had to leave now. Now I understand why I had to go through that break. Because when I was doing 2014, I didn't do anything.
Okay.
I was just home, watching series and going to church.
You
call me
depressed.
and tell me I shall go look for a job. Like, leave me alone. Leave me alone. In my heart, I was like, what have I benefited? Everything is gone.
So you said you were angry at yourself.
I'm so angry at myself.
You blamed yourself?
I blamed myself so much because these are clients that I had really trusted. And I was like, okay, this one will pay, that one will pay. So everything went down. And looking back, I was like, I should never have let this account grow like this. I should never, and this is the client I brought in. This is the client I worked and got, and I was like, we do this. So everything was on me. So I felt like everything was on me. So that blame, like self-blame, it was too much. But I couldn't tell anyone. So it was me. So I would just feel happy sitting down, watching TV, laugh at the comedies, and I walk out and hug people and smile. I always smile, like, and I feel like Asha is fine, but I wasn't fine.
Yeah.
I was just dying slowly inside. So in 2015, an idea of baking came. I had never baked before. I remember like 2 years back, I tried baking for my daughter, because they had like a school assignment, you know, when your child's in baby class and then they come to you, mommy, they said you bake us cake, what?
Make cookies.
So I went, I did some Google, I got some recipes, I did the cake, and then Bambi, I gave the poor girl. She's like, mommy, this tastes like Linda's. I'm like, chick, I'm not a baker. So when they were like from church, everyone is seated, we are discussing adulting things, like what can we guys, everyone was employed meanwhile.
Okay.
What do we guys do together? People mentioned, you see, sometimes I call them the poor man's ideas, because usually we think like that when we are broke. So we say liquid soap, baking, because if people had choices, they wouldn't go for that.
Okay.
But now when you're broke and you're like, how do I make money? Those
and you don't have much to work with.
Exactly. Those poor man's ideas come. So we're discussing all the poor man's ideas. But me, in my head, I was just side-eyeing. I'm like, whatever.
I mean, you were coming from construction, and how much money?
The big monies. So that talking about baking me, I'm like, whatever. I told them, guys, whatever you decide, I'll help you with the marketing. So we zeroed down on baking.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, let us bring money together. I'm like, it's okay. Me, I can't bake. It's not my thing.
Okay.
But I'll bring in them. I'll do what I will advertise on
Okay.
Facebook, because I knew my Facebook is where I go and give people things and they respond. So like,
No, you were telling me at some point even 100% of your business was coming from
Facebook. From Facebook. Apart from referrals, Facebook is like my
Your
home
marketplace.
of like maybe I will just give people something and then they will respond. So imagine, it was 2015 Valentine's. It was January, but we had 2 weeks to Valentine's. I came to my Facebook and I said, we will be having Valentine's cakes at this price. My phone started buzzing. People made orders even from the diaspora.
Okay.
Actually, me, that is the thing that made Asha the baker. Because people now started sending money, giving me numbers of their relatives, wives, husband. They call them what? Another.
I was waiting.
So I had that money coming in onto my phone. So even me think about pulling out.
Yes.
It's now too late.
Because now you'd even seen this is a viable business as well, right?
And me, I think...
But wait, were these orders supposed to be for you as a group?
A group.
Okay.
Because I wasn't a baker. Everyone had a role to play.
Okay.
We had delivery. We had procurement. Actually, now my husband was one was doing accounts. When he was doing accounts, another person was doing procurement, another delivery, another one baking. Now, we had someone who had an idea. But it was like, I can't execute. We need to employ someone to do baking. Me, I can do baking like home, but not on a commercial scale.
Yes, yes.
So even looking for people to bake, it was hard. Someone can come and give you mouth game. They're telling you things you don't understand. Oh, I can do chocolate fudge. I can do red velvet. Kati, you. Gatomi money, you'll be like, wow, this is a good baker. Then the guy bakes cake and you're like, chi, no. So
People talk a good game.
yes. So I went to Facebook. I advertised even before I had even tested. Me, I was like, okay, the idea is there. I've been given a job to advertise. So let me go and advertise. I went to Facebook. By the time we got to Valentine, we had 40 orders. Imagine 40 orders.
For one day. All to be delivered on Valentine's
Day. And I didn't know what that meant. Cakes, 40 cakes to be delivered. Now, 3 days to Valentine's, our baker disappears. The one that we had selected disappears. So when the baker disappears, we tell a day to Valentine, we tell our group mate who can bake. We're like, you bake edible cakes. People can eat the cakes you bake, right? Now, we have no choice. You have to bake.
We gotta do this.
Finishing. We shall. Batenga even we had used some graphic. It was like some image. It was good graphics. What? Now with the eye, is it coming out? It's not coming out. It wasn't caking. But
My
you see,
gosh.
there is something about me that I have grown with that is so important to me than money. It is reputation.
Yes.
Now me, every time it comes to reputation, I cannot disappoint people. So I kept telling my teammates, you know what, guys? It is my face out there.
Yes.
I cannot disappoint people. These people are ordering because it is Asha who advertised. We need cake. So the pressure was too much. Yes, we got cake. If you ask me, did it look good?
No.
It didn't.
But it was edible.
But it was edible.
Okay.
And we had
Were there a
cake.
lot of complaints?
Surprisingly, not so much.
But you know, because it was like
The
being
worst-
gifted to people.
Yes, exactly. Not the person who paid was
You
the one
just say
receiving.
thank you. You're not going to complain.
You can't
because-
complain. The thing that people complained about was the delivery time. Now we have 40 cakes. We do not know how these cakes are going to Entebbe where. Do you know, calling my relatives, my friends, border guys, everyone I know, because it came to that place where we had no power. My phone went off. I was going to Kaduka Kamama Nach to put in some battery. Then I talked to people. Imagine my phone is on. Her husband somewhere has received. Now Asha is available. You sent Asha money, but Asha is offline.
Oh my God.
And they're calling you, Asha, we trusted you. You're getting like such kind of vibe. Eh? Where are you? My offer has not yet received. Some even ordered for flowers. I had to buy flowers. I didn't know what I was getting myself into.
I think so. A lot of people who decide to do things on Valentine's Day, they even never go back again because of the delivery fiasco.
It was too much. I had this particular client who was in Entebbe. I think he worked in Da. My God. I think he loved his wife so much. Because the other pressure, you can't put it on when
you don't love your partner.
You don't love your partner. So I was so stressed. And I was like, I have to deliver. You know, we delivered up to 12 in the night, midnight.
As in midnight. You were still making those deliveries.
And I had to also jump in. I can't do some deliveries. So I got to the
you said
person.
You also had to do some flowers as well.
Yes. Buy flowers.
Did people add also gifts in there as well?
Chocolates. And people are
gosh.
particular. Chocolate. And now imagine I have received your package of like 150, 200. And you told me, Asha, plan call for me, get my wife flowers, some chocolate, some this. So I have to go to the supermarket, buy these things. And all that is time that I didn't
The baskets,
know.
the wrapping, the what?
I didn't know. And Valentine's flowers disappear. Someone asked for red roses. You go everywhere, they don't have. It was disaster. Like, let me tell you, when I delivered the last cake at LDC, I remember the guy was waiting for me at the gate, and he was like, "You have survived." I'm like, "Why?" It's like, you know that I had like this regard of you as Asha Batenga, and then I was like, Asha Batenga has stolen 100K. I was like, what? It's like, yeah. I was like, this chick has really embarrassed me. But you have survived. I'm like, I'm so sorry I've delivered. So it's like, it's okay. You have delivered. And you're new in business. So that's understandable. You did what you had to do. You have delivered. So we all went back. We looked at each other. We were 7. We were looking pathetic. Aina flower, no. Aina chocolate, one, no. Everyone was frustrated.
Yes.
And I think deep down, people were like, Asha, why did you take all those orders?
But they couldn't say.
We realized that we had like failed. You know, people got their cakes right, but us, it was, these people had jobs, families. I was the idle one.
And some of them had partners.
Yes, I was the idle one. So I had all the time. They didn't.
Yeah.
So I would feel their pain. So I think the first were like 3 couples and 1 person. So the first couple was like, you know what, guys? We have so many commitments. We want to pull out. So the first one pulled out. We're like, okay, that's fine. We had to refund because remember we came together, brought together money. So we had to refund. So now we are 5. The hustle continues. Me, still in my head, I'm not a baker. Me, I'm just marketing Kekli.
That's it.
That's it for me.
But you'd already established
Kekli,
Uganda.
I know, like when I become mentally fine, I'll go and do my other hustles, not baking.
So this was just a filler.
A filler. So now, as we continue, another couple dropped off. They were busy. These are family people. So, okay, it hurt, eh? Like when you see your friends, these are not just business partners, but they're also your friends. And they tell you they are going. So it was hard, but we had to let them go.
Yeah.
Now we are 3.
Okay.
1 couple.
By then you hadn't
and 1 person.
had kids yet. You hadn't started a family for yourself.
No, I had 1.
Okay.
Antonia, the one who I told you I'd baked for, who called my cake Linda.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So we are 3. Now that is the person who would bake.
Okay.
And she had a full-time job.
Oh.
So Asha never says no to orders. To date, you give me an order even if it's in the middle of the night, I'll tell you that we shall deliver. If it's in the morning, you want it today, I'll tell you we shall deliver. Me, I don't send away money unless you give me something outrageous.
Asha.
Like you're telling me that I have a wedding today, make me a wedding.
Yeah, a wedding cake.
Yes, but I've done a wedding cake in 2 days. Someone called me, my baker has disappointed me today and I have to go up country. We baked the cake today. The following day it was. So me, I don't chase away money.
So what you're telling me is sleep is not important to you.
It's not. It's not. Now,
Because that's the one thing I know about baking. And I think you need to respect bakers because...
yeah, the sleep. So now, we got to this place where the third person left. And now I was left
You and your hubby.
and my hubby. So the first instinct definitely was, Asha, get out. Because don't you think everyone is gone? So, but I had an order in the pipeline. And I just told my husband, you know what? This order, let us order from somewhere. Just put in the cake lid box, send order, out of business. We are done. So
Let's
he was
wrap
like,
up.
let's wrap up and go home. So he was like, but you know what, Asha? You have done so many things. You as Asha.
Yeah.
You mean baking is impossible? I'm like, it's not my thing. It's not my thing. But you know, when people plant words in you, when you go back to bed and you put your head on your pillow, these words come back to you. Now these are like your subconscious playing, like maybe your day. That's why negative vibes are really bad.
Yeah.
Because a person will tell you this one word and they'll forget what they told you.
Oh, yeah, they won't remember.
They won't. And you go back and replay it and you get 1,000 meanings out of it.
Yeah.
So now, then it wasn't positive to me. It was nagging, but it came back to my head like, Asha, you can do this.
It was also a bit like a challenge.
Yes, Asha, you can do this. You have done so many things. So the songs I'd sing in my head. I'm like, maybe I should try. So I just went where I know. Go to YouTube and start searching. So I started searching different things, recipes, cake designs, so many different things. So now, and I was broke. I didn't have money. Okay. So I had to wait for night to get that kabando. Yeah? So I wanted to do like the cake and then the first trial, which went bad. It was so bad that I had to even spit out something I had baked. So I was like, you see, Brian, it's not my thing. This is bad. I sent some samples to my sister, and my sister laughed. You know, first, we are very open in our family. We don't sugarcoat things. She told me clearly. So I sent her cake, and then I called her, how was the cake? She laughed. She's like, oh no, rubbish, go eat a cake. I'm like, I know, but I'm working out something. I'll send you more. But then, I need money to make these samples. So now I have to call my son and say, it's like, me to pay for this rubbish. I'm like, okay, buy ingredients. Just send me like a 40K.
Yeah.
And but because she's my sister, even if it was rubbish, she had to buy the rubbish.
Yes.
So she sent me money. I got other ingredients like that. Like she was my guinea pig. Yeah? Of like, so I remember I had 3 days to deliver. So I had to do different mixes, try, error. So at a certain point I had given up. And I was like, anyway, it's not my thing. I kept telling myself, it's not my thing. So it's not like I have failed, but it's just not my thing.
Let me ask you this. When you say it's not my thing, is it because maybe you're not patient? You do things quickly?
I had never seen myself in the kitchen.
Oh.
I liked women clothes. I like how women looked like. I liked computers. I liked those things. So me in the kitchen, me in the bakery.
That was not your image of yourself.
It wasn't. It's not my thing. But you see, when you have destiny, I don't think you can fight destiny yourself. So I got to a point, I'm like, okay, let me just put in things. So there's this recipe of a chocolate cake that I was making. And then the last one, I forgot to put in some ingredients because I kept doing the same recipe, twitching it up like that. So I forgot some ingredients. Then the cake is baking in the oven. You know that the cooking bit where you see the cake is inside and the ingredients are here.
Like, oh my God.
I was like, oh my God, no, but I'm not doing this again. I'm not doing, anyway, let it bake. The cake baked, it came out, and it was the cake.
But what did you leave out?
I can't tell you. Today it is my secret recipe. The cake came out, and I was running around the whole house. Test. This is cake. And let me tell you the funny thing. I'm not a sweet tooth, but I liked that cake. That is why it is a cake that it is the cakely chocolate cake, the chocolate fudge. Everyone, even who hates cake, likes it. Everyone who hates chocolate, they like it.
So you'd say that's your signature?
It's my signature. So my signature came out of a mistake. And it's not a mistake. I think it is the Holy Spirit. Maybe some people say the universe. Maybe some people will say they are guardian angels or they are ancestors. Whatever you call that voice, that is the voice that guides you. And it is the voice that guided me. And I didn't know. Forgetting those things, it was that voice that made me forget. And then I have my own recipe. And I'm like, okay, this is it. This is the cake. And when I sent it to my sister, also her who says rubbish, she was like, hey, Katine, no, this is cake. So I was confident that now that was the baking. Now the finishing. I hadn't invested
Which
in
is
that.
honestly the hardest part.
So I just put icing and what?
Like what, butter icing?
Sprinkled on, yes, butter icing, sprinkled on things, many things. Shredded coconut, what? To hide my art. I sent to the client, and the client was like, Embo, she told me when she saw that cake, she felt so bad, but when she ate it, she felt so good.
Okay.
So she's like, okay, I forgive you.
Because it tasted so good.
Yeah. So that was like the launch of Kekli. And now, still, I wasn't in 100%. I kept saying, I am just here. But
How long did you say that?
it took me time. Because Kekli was work, let me tell you. I had no sleep. I had to study, teach myself cake, do trials, errors. Because now that was just one recipe. I needed like to create like 10 different recipes.
Yes.
I needed to learn how to do things like fondant, things like how do I use whipped cream, how do I use butter icing, learning the differences. So I started shortening my sleeping window. 6 hours, 5 hours, 3 hours to no sleep. Because I would bake in the night and ice during the day. So I started depending on energy drinks.
But you.
My life almost, I died. I think I experienced a near-death experience because of energy drinks. Because I would take a lot of energy drinks so that I keep awake. And by the time the clients start calling, at least I can pick, because I was the customer care, the baker, the designer, the delivery girl, the procurement, so all that. So it was so tight, and time would come and I would just black. Like not black, I'm sleeping. Black as in faint. I would faint.
Oh my God.
And then my husband would find me, then he also started like helping, because so like started helping me, like, I'm doing this now, help me mix this, now help me. He started help because he saw that I was so drained.
That is so scary
And
though.
it was so scary.
And you know,
So,
sleep is important.
very important. And when I got to that point where I would just pass out, that's when I was like, okay, check, Asha. And I was so addicted to energy drinks. All through the day, you would find me taking energy drinks just to keep alert. So it became so much for me, and I felt like sometimes I would feel like my soul is leaving my body. It was that bad. And I was still the clingy person who wouldn't train people, who wouldn't
You wanted
trust
to do everything yourself.
Yes. Then, thank God, my brother showed up and he started like forcing me to train him, and I had refused. I was like, no, you don't do it how I want. You're not a consistent person. You know when you know your sibling.
Yes.
You're not a consistent person. I can do this. He insisted, and he would sit and watch me. And I was that bad. I wasn't a team player. So now, after some time, he would come and pull things. Him and my husband would pull things off me. You bring and we help you. So they'll be helping me, but I'll
The
be
two of them
complaining.
were looking at you like,
Yes,
this woman is going to
I'll
die.
I'll be complaining. No, you're not doing it well. You have to mix like this. No, but why are you mixing like this? Don't mix like this, like that. So it would be like war all the time. That kitchen wasn't pleasant. Sometimes he would do things, and then I would call the mother, please tell your son to leave my house. Say, I don't even need him. I am so tired. We are fighting. So we were fighting, me and my brother, like all the time. Now, time came, because I'm not that person. I don't know how to quarrel. First of all, because I'm not stammering now, but when I'm pissed, I stammer.
The
So
words don't.
they don't come out. So now I couldn't so I was like, there is something wrong with me. I came to that point, it is not my brother, it is me.
Okay.
So I had to start talking to myself of like, Asha, if you want to do this, you have to understand someone from their side, from their perspective, what they're doing, what they believe in, not what you believe in. Then that is how you're going to correct them. Then I was that person who tell him, okay, start. And then I'll be, I'm doing it wrong, I'll do it myself. So now I started to teach myself how to let him be.
Yes.
If he makes a mistake, I stopped shouting.
That's a challenge a lot of women have, I think.
It is. So I stopped shouting, then I would correct him. I'll be like, no, it's okay. Don't do it like that. Let's do it like this. So now we started growing like that. I think now I got pregnant. I needed help. I needed support. So I said like employing people slowly. I employ people who don't know anything.
And train them.
Because when I got people who knew something, they would want to bring their things in my things.
That's the thing. They want to do it their way.
Yes. And then it would end up like clashing. So I needed people who were like virgins in the baking. So I had to like train from scratch. It helped me.
Okay.
It helped me build a brand.
Yes.
Because everyone did it according to Asha, how Asha wanted it.
And then
And
that
it is
means
the
everything
only
was
thing they knew.
consistent. Huh?
It's like that innocent girl, eh? And the only thing they know is you. So even when you hurt them and they say, sorry, sweetie, it's okay, I forgive you. But it was anger us would be like, why did you do it? So I had to like make sure that I trained my people what I wanted. So it became hard bringing these people on board and training them, giving them a skill, a part of me, because now that was me. Things I hold to my heart. So I said like training 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We became like 6.
Okay.
And it was so bad that I remember I still had that bad habit that I gave birth. That was 2017. I gave birth, cesarean. I had a cake, a fondant cake. Now I had taught them a lot of butter icing.
But
fondant
not
I
the fondant.
hadn't yet. So I came back with my stitches. I sat on a cake. And you know why I can never forget that cake? Because the person never picked it.
And your stitches didn't open.
I felt so bad. I gave it to there is a school in Nadia that has blind people. So usually that's where like I would take my cakes in that school. So
Yes.
I called this person, they started playing me what. So I was like, this cake is going to get spoiled from here.
Yeah.
Let me just donate it.
Gift
That will
it.
make me feel better. Because I was in pain. I couldn't, like you can't sit upright like this. The
That's why I'm looking at you like, what?
the same day I came back from hospital is the same day I was sitting on my dining trying to add things together. I'm like, I have this thing that I usually tell myself. It even pushed me to grow that. If Mercedes-Benz was doing everything from indicators to manya gearbox, manya to tires, we wouldn't know Mercedes.
Yes.
Who would have known that? The guy would have produced one car a year.
Exactly.
So that is cake. I was like, if we don't work as a team,
If I don't trust my people.
this one is baking, this one is doing finishing, this one is doing butter icing, this one is doing so that helped me.
So it's kind of like a conveyor
Benz,
belt.
yes. Every time I look at a Benz, I know that these guys outsource. Look at Apple. They also outsource. So all the big companies we know, they just bring something together. You cannot do it alone. You just have to get the best of the best. And they should have your vision. If you know Asha likes quality, my worker has to know that I cannot bend, I'd rather lose. If a client calls me and says, Asha, I didn't like this cake, I replace it. Without even quarreling, what, how comes 10 other people have liked the same cake? You tell me that it wasn't good, maybe I would ask you to send me maybe a slice that I can test to help me know our mistake.
Yes.
But in all that, you already have your cake. If you don't even have a slice to give me, it is still okay.
You see that little gray area of customer service? Great customer service. That's
uh,
already an advantage on your part.
It is so big to me that, like I've told you, yes, I love money, but I don't fear losing money. So that cake of 150, 200, me replacing it, it is giving me a long-term client.
Yes, yes.
Because once you know that Asha has my interest at heart, you will not hesitate ordering from Asha. But when I show you that your complaint didn't count, unless you just didn't tell me exactly. Because maybe a person will tell you, I didn't like the cake, then they'll disappear. They'll go offline, they'll not.
No,
So that
I
is
remember
hard.
someone once told me, it's next time I'll do better next time. I don't think I've never gone back. Business.
Yes, I know. So sometimes you have to know, but they have made their money. So now that is how Kekli grew. The brand started like shining. Everyone from
And
year
you were
one.
still using Facebook?
I was using Facebook. Facebook was home. Facebook is like that place I go to and I say, I am selling second-hand women knickers. Someone told me it is the worst thing they have seen in Owino. Who sells? But
And some of them are huge. Like this.
and people say that they're more expensive than.
There's more material. Of course, it has to be more expensive.
So it is like that place I go.
Some
and
of
I
us, our brands are more expensive.
So it is that place I go to and I say, I have this, and people respond. So I was doing so much of Facebook. I don't have a marketing budget. I'm going to go do ads here, ads where. I don't. So Facebook is like my organic reach where I go and talk to my people, and they have seen me transition. So fast forward, I worked from home for 6 to 7 years because I left home last year.
Okay.
So last year
This
I was
is because
like,
of Kekli Uganda, the
yes,
restaurant.
the restaurant. So last year we were like, okay, we are going to open up Kekli away from home. And we're going to have a branch of just eating cakes and ice cream and coffee. That was like the whole idea.
Oh, so cake, coffee, ice cream.
Ice cream.
But
The
darling, you have
restaurant
great
bit-
food.
The restaurant bit wasn't yet mature. I thought I wasn't ready. So I kept saying, I'll introduce restaurant, but later. But something happened, and I realized that we had to. I lost money.
Okay.
Now we sent for things in China, like so many equipment, cake equipment, new restaurants. So it was a lot of money,
Yeah.
and the person disappeared with the money.
A Ugandan?
Yeah, a Ugandan disappeared with the money.
Business is beautiful.
Yeah, so we had to get into that moment of meditation and know, okay, what is the universe saying? What is God saying? What? And all the questions that I asked myself, God was saying that you're going small, you have to go bigger.
So you wanted to just do a small coffee shop, like cafe?
Yes. You have to go bigger, you have to go restaurant. Now, I am that person who sees good in every bad thing, because I don't believe in the word nonsense. I believe in the word nonsense, there is word sense at the end. So when something bad happens to me, however bad it is, I look for the lesson.
Okay.
So I was like, what lesson do I learn here? Why did this happen? Because that money is not stolen. It is hard earned money.
Yeah.
So it's not like I went, let me bring the money. No, it is hard earned money. So knowing that it is coming from a clean space, I was like, God must be saying something that I have failed to listen to. And my husband kept telling me the same thing. But Asha Nene put two, yeah? Kept telling me that maybe we just start right here with restaurant. And I was like, no, we're not ready. We are known for cakes. Let us first do cakes.
Your hubby knows.
Yes.
Knows you even better
He
than
knows
you
me.
know
He knows me that I
yourself.
have a very big head. So now when all this happened, we're like, okay, I think it is hard time. It is high time for us to go into the restaurant business.
Did it shock people?
The good things that I hadn't yet opened. All this was us were still working in the back end.
Okay.
Because even Kekli had Chibati all around. So we're now working from inside, trying to set up the place, the interior, all those things. So like, let us go and do restaurant. So if we need restaurant, we need to get the chefs, we need to get the food that we want. Because getting a chef is different, but customizing that food to your taste buds, to know this is it. This is my identity. That is why you see that we have things like a customized chicken. As in, who has done that in town? They're going to just start. But we have started that trend
Yeah.
of like, you're going to have a whole chicken, it has happy birthday Crystal. Because you don't love cake. Because there are people who don't love cake genuinely.
Yes.
And
yes,
people,
they're-
the other people were health conscious. They're like, Asha, cake, atebans, jaku, sukari, what? So I had to think outside.
yeah.
How can I keep my cake line, but in food? That's why you see, like, we have so many meals that are customized.
Yes.
You come and buy fish, take your wife out, and the fish has happy birthday Crystal. And that is like, and everything is edible, not just a piece of paper.
Yes.
No, we put it on fondant, use edible pens. Everything is edible. You can chew your name, cha 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 cha, like the way you chew it, like how it is on cake.
You're making me hungry.
Yes. So having that of like, that this is who we are. We are still cake people, but now we are doing food.
yeah.
Falling into like, to be, I came in onto the market and I was studying the trends, and it was strictly cafe and then the continental menu. And then because of my environment, I am opposite police, they like local food. I had to find a way of putting a buffet on the side.
Ah, that's why you have the buffet
Yes.
now.
So understanding your environment,
Yes.
your client, knowing that yes, me as Asha, I may not be a local food person, but my client is. And they would want to have a buffet on top of the other things. Other people will come in for the steak, for the mashed potatoes, for the chips, for the simple things. There are others who will be like, is the way Syria could talk in Basidi day lunch. So understanding that trends and hitting that growth in 1 year, because well, actually we've not yet made a year because we opened in November
That's
last
what I was
year.
thinking. It's not a year
It's
yet.
not a year. But hitting that, to me, it has been like, oh my God, the things that I have learned in the past 8 months.
Is it also because, you know, you're very open to evolving quickly?
I am so open.
Because it's less than a year and you're already talking about the lessons learned in that.
the lessons from cake to the continentals.
But I
then
asked you
now to
earlier,
the
did it
local
shock
buffet.
people
Yeah,
that
people-
you opened a restaurant?
People were very shocked. They're like,
Because like, but we know you
Asha,
for cake.
we know you for cake. Now you're into food. I'm like, yeah. Let me see how it goes, where it takes me. Because where I am open, I'm like, let me see where it takes me if it is my thing. But now when I look back and I say, I started, my first job that paid me was a cafeteria. We had food. We had, so I look at that and I'm like, wow, all along, like, God was blessing me in the right places with the right people and all that. Even in the bakery, I have had chances of visiting so many bakeries that do food, doing the trainings, doing this, and I was able to be exposed to so many things, that do's, that don'ts. How does your kitchen have to look like? The layout, the things that you learn through observation were so important. So I got to understand, you see, like what Steve Jacobs said, that it's hard to follow the dots going forward. But it's easier to follow the dots going backwards. So every time you look back and see, why was I in this place at this time? Like my meltdown of 2014, it had to happen. Because sometimes when you're aiming higher, like for this roof, you can't just jump. You have to go back down. And then you aim higher and you hit. Even when you're doing basketball, you can't just come and say, pom. You have to kusinzira. The Muganda says you have to kusinzira. And so I had to crash.
Yeah.
So now I understand my crash, because I would never have seen anything outside construction, because that is what I knew.
That's what I'm thinking. You probably would have been like, nope.
Yeah, I would have been like, oh no, now I'm into construction. And the money is big. Now you go back to collecting 50K, 100K, like that. But I am so proud of that journey, because I can't say it has been like smooth. It has its humps and what. But how you take in the negatives is how you grow. Because even at the end of the day, when that client walks in and you have disappointed them,
Yes.
and yet 99 have been sing praises, oh, Asha this, oh, Asha that. Oh. But then this one client, to me, leaves that impact of like, what can I do better to make sure that it is at 100?
I think that's important, because a lot of businesses fail because they don't listen.
That is true.
Like you said, out of 100, 95 are all great, and then 5 are not great.
And
but
they are
the power
not.
of words,
The power
those
of words.
5 will go and
So
say,
if they have given you their feedback, how you take it in without feeling offensive. It is different when people go and name shame you. That's different. But when someone has done a one-on-one, sent you a WhatsApp, sent you an inbox that Asha, I think you should
And
improve
giving you the
in.
feedback.
Yeah, you should improve in this way. Yes, everything is good, but this is lacking. I take it in like, and I have a staff group where I send feedback. I'm like, this is what the client saying. So it means that we have to improve in this area.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if we are getting the ratings, but if we don't improve here, maybe others have seen that space and they've not said anything. Because me, the person who tells me, I value it. Because another person will sit and say,
that's the thing. I feel like the majority of people just keep quiet, but they just don't come back.
And they don't come back. Now, to me, that is like damaging to the business.
Yes.
I prefer you telling me, however hard it is, I take it in and then I'm like, okay, how do I become better? Also, at this, even the food, the local food, people would come and say, okay, yeah, Asha, you have everything. Oh, the food is so nice. But you see, now I came with my mom. It's like it was hard for them to find something to eat on the menu. Maybe they ate the fish. But if you have like some more varieties for us. So yes, I know I have a vision as Asha. I know where I want to be. But I have to find a way of meeting with the people in between. That's why
and
I
also
tell you,
you want
I am
to tap
known
into that lunch crowd that can be quite regular.
Exactly.
Because,
Exactly. So I don't want to be that uptight person of like, no, I know where I want to be. That
This is what we
vision.
do.
This is what we do. No, I have to calm down. I say, how do we meet in the middle? So now I realize that people weekend want to eat junk. Now buffet, we don't even do buffet unless you have like a special order with us. Weekends we don't do buffet. But Monday to Friday people want to eat the local food. Do what? So you have to make sure that you give them what they want. Because they would want to support you. And me, like I told you, my support comes from Facebook and then the referrals. So when you see like people on Facebook telling you, oh, do for us some boiled goat, do for us, you see it once, twice, and then you're like, okay, maybe it's a thing. Let me try. If it doesn't work, but at least I would have tried. Yeah, so it is like, you learn on job. No one teaches us how to be entrepreneurs, but what you hear and how you grow yourself, I believe is how we end up where we are at.
Understanding the opportunity of Facebook, in particular, of social media, because really it has fed into your business and helped grow you all this time. But also that personal, because your people have seen you grow over time. It's very personal as well. But then I know you started doing YouTube as well.
Yes, I started doing YouTube. I do YouTube, I do Instagram. Okay, YouTube needs time.
Oh, yes.
You have to give it time, put their videos, give it time. You have to promote your videos, share them on Facebook, let people see that you have put a video here. And according to our algorithms, it doesn't favor us so much. So you really have to put in a lot of work. So it can be on and off. And I needed YouTube to teach people how to bake. Because it was my run to place. But the limitations as a Ugandan
it's very challenging.
Was finding the exact things they were telling me on YouTube. The flour is different. The sugar is different. The cocoa is different. The chocolate,
raising flour,
everything is different.
Like,
so me in my Ugandan market, I come and then I create the same cake and it's a brick. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? So it is the reason why I really want to be on YouTube, because I want to do recipes that connect with us Africans according to what we have in Africa. So I think I will get back to it like super hard of like, because the more we are on YouTube,
because we do have that challenge. Some of the things you can't get them
you
here,
can't get them
or even if they're available, they're so expensive. It
I
doesn't
used
make
a lot
sense.
of eBay then. Now we have so many. You see, when we did cake fair, now that is the growth that I also didn't tell you about. Like when I grew, and then 2017 I think was our first cake fair.
Yes,
but cake fair was inspired out of this kind of vision of like, we have bakers, we have suppliers, but we don't know each other. So cake shop became that community. Cake shop platform was opened 2017. Was like, I need to bring us
as a community together.
As a community, the bakers, the cake lovers, and then the suppliers. So when we came together, I'm not going to say that I am bragging, it's the reality. The cake business in Uganda flourished. When we started, I knew like a couple of bakers.
Because when you think about how many people are
right
doing
now,
cake.
everyone, like in your contact list, even my previous clients, you see like this one was served as client, is now baker. But I don't feel bad because most of these people are women, and it means they're doing something in their space.
Yes.
So I can't come out and say, oh, we are many bakers, but me, if that is my contribution to the society, let it be. Because it gives me peace knowing that someone is making money from their comfort zone. From home, they are their wives. They are stay-home moms.
Yes.
And that's it. And they're starting something. Maybe it is going to open doors for them. Like me. I started as a home baker.
And many people, it's like self-taught, like yourself.
Exactly.
You had to go and figure it out.
We don't have, most of us don't have money to like go to school, twasomadda because says a bit university. If someone tells you go pay for school, you're like, hey, what I say?
For what?
For what? So to me, it was like a big plus for us, like understanding this community and doing something that is going to help, because 80% are women. That is going to help women. Yes, also men, but mostly women.
Mostly women.
Men, I don't want to be a sexist, but some things are so obvious.
Okay.
For men.
Okay.
And they're self-motivated. Girl child, you have to say, oh, I believe in you. Oh, you can do this. I have people who come to the restaurant and they say, we first saw you during Kampala Cake Fair. My daughter is now a baker. As in, I'm like, I have seen people who first used to tell their daughters, don't bake. You know, these things of skills, people never used to value them. I think actually it is COVID that has helped us value skills. Because everyone needed a certain profession to make sure that they have succeeded. But now the skills became so important. And now you see that parents are letting people be artists.
Yeah.
Be a baker. You want to sing, it's okay, let us support you. Now people are valuing because they see that people are making money out of these things. Because not all of us are going to be doctors.
No,
not all of us are going to be lawyers.
Long way.
So now we have so much. People, my son usually says that, when you ask him what do you want to be, he says, I'm going to be a professional YouTuber, but specifically a gamer. He knows that he has to be a gamer. But if you read about how much gamers are making, they're making so much money. And I can't tell him, no, son, you have to be a doctor.
Not our internet in this country, though.
Yeah, our internet will
My son also wanted to be a gamer. I was like, ha.
Internet chair to call for the gaming. They even cry. You see them, like, it is stuck and they are quarreling. Like, woo. You see the frustration.
Yes.
But you see how now we bring them up. You see someone saying that, I want to be a makeup artist. Now you see makeup artists can make money, so you bring them up. So these skills are now more embraced than before.
Yes.
Now we understand that people can make money out of these skills.
You know, you said you always look for the positives. There are people who still look at the COVID time and they just see all the negatives.
Let me tell you,
but many people forget how important it was for families, for children to actually spend time with their parents. I think that's also a big deal. Big deal. But figuring out what to do with each other when you're stuck in.
When you're stuck, you have to connect. You have to speak. I did so many even YouTube videos during that time. I helped the community. Now I'd be like, oh, I'm up and down. Oh, it is like the world is chasing me around. But in COVID, I had to sit down and create content to help people, to give out, to give more. So to me, COVID really helped us to realize so many things, and we had to rethink so many things, especially our children.
Yeah.
We had a one-on-one on a daily basis where you had to realize that this is what my child is going through. This is, speak out. And also, yes, it is bad that people lost lives.
Yes.
But us who survived, we should pick all the good lessons we learned and we implement. Because at the end of the day, if we focus on the negative, we can't grow.
But you've mentioned your kids. Do you bake with them? Do they ever help?
Before they used to, and they started to hate it. Because it was consuming the home space. I used to have cakes everywhere, the dining. Now Christmas, I used to put stands in their bedrooms.
Oh my gosh.
I would send them away. I clear the whole bedroom. I prepare it for Christmas. And I put stands, I put everything, and I send them maybe to my mom's. And then after they come back, imagine how are you going to like your mom when they make you go through all that?
They're like, it's taken, like,
Brandon
the
would
business
get
took
sick.
you away from
Brandon
them.
used to get sick during Christmas because the pressure is too much. Oh, don't pass here, don't pass there. Christmas is supposed to be festival. Yeah. Enjoy with family. Now for us, it was the opposite.
And probably in the most stressful period for you.
Oh, take Don there. Let him stay there. Let him, keep him in my bedroom. Do this, do that. And then our house became like 75% Kekli. And it was just 25% us. We had nothing. My life was in the bedroom, because outside bedroom I'm with staff. So
Wow.
Antonia,
that's a lot of sacrifice on your part as
it
well.
was big time. Antonia at first really wanted to be a baker. Then time came, she said, no, this is not for me. Now Brandon likes it. He likes the baking. He likes, because he's a YouTube guy. And so he goes, when I tell him tab time is done, you know what he tells me? Mommy, I'm watching you on YouTube. That's how he blackmails me. I'm like, dude, I know you're not. So he has that artistic side of him. So Antonia got the bad experience, because now for her, she used to understand everything.
Yes.
Then at least we came out when it is not yet that bad. So I keep telling her that I know you're going to bake, because everything has been put out for you. But first find yourself. I can't force you into this, because she wants to be a lawyer. I'm like, if you want to be a lawyer, but she wants to do something to do with social media. So she wants to go legal, but in that direction. So I'm like, it's okay, just do you. Whatever you do will benefit Cake in the long run. So if you're doing manya legal, you'll be a legal person. Whatever you do, just know that I tell you, am I going to die with this company? That it will go to the next person. So do your thing. Whenever you want to come home, you come and do
And
Cake.
you shall come back home.
Yes, and because I see how people do legacy. You bring your children to your business, but they're all different. And I would want her to experience Antonia before Antonia lives in the shadow of Asha.
Yeah.
So it should be her decision to say, okay, now I think I've done, like me, I failed. Then I came to something where I feel like
that you didn't think was for you. I think that's the funniest for me.
Exactly.
You're like,
it is like a first marriage. It's like that first marriage where you look at this husband who looks very funny, and you look at this husband and the nose is big, looks so like how a few years down the road, you're Mr. Handsome. But you're in love. Everything is it. Now that's baking for me. Because like that first marriage of like, no, I can't do this. Then later you're like, oh, Cake is bare. So I feel like if my child is supposed to fall in love with the baking world or the food industry, it has to come from her. Let her first do all her manyangas. Let her fail. And then she says, but mommy, I did this and she succeeded. Let's go and do this.
But I think it's also just a reminder. Most people try to say, oh, business should be something you're passionate about.
No.
Look for what you're good at.
No.
And this clearly is like, sometimes it may seem the complete opposite, but that is where you're supposed to go.
That is where you're supposed to go. I do not believe that you have to first have this passion, because sometimes passion doesn't bring food to the table.
But you see, that's what has been preached for the longest time, and I think it's slightly dangerous.
It is dangerous, because sometimes...
I mean, because I understand the path can be different, but for some people...
And you will find the passion. When the money starts coming, the passion will come. So don't even say, oh no, yes, I used to say it's not my thing. So, but when I saw the money coming in, the money is coming in, you're getting involved, then that love, it is natural, it will start to feel you. So don't say, I can't do that, I don't have love for it. Try it. What you gonna move on to the next one.
And if it fails in the beginning, keep going, keep trying.
Keep trying, because at the end of the day, what you call passion sometimes, it doesn't bring in any money.
Yeah.
You say, oh, I'm happy.
And
Baby,
I keep hearing so many people, I'm still trying to find the thing that I'm passionate about that can pay me. It's great if that happens. It's wonderful if it happens. But many times it's the complete opposite.
We are human beings. Human beings have to keep being. You cannot be stuck because they say, I plait the best hair, but who is your client? You might know. Now me, I have skills. I can plait hair even in my sleep. Those are things that I taught myself. I am that handy person. You can't throw me anywhere and I not survive. But when you look at hair, where I was, would it bring me money? You get it?
Yeah.
Some
people have made it work.
Yes, some people have made it work. That's why you say, look at now, like when I tell that I'm in Naguru, look at what will work in Naguru. Now me, I realize that Cake alone is not going to work. I had to build around Cake to see what works. So you might be having this talent of Cake, or you're a baker. Maybe you're in Owachitakuru or what, but that skill of Cake, who is going to buy your Cake? If Cake is not working for you, what can you add on Cake? Are you going to do daddies? What are you going to do that your people are going to benefit from your skill. So you might stick and say, I did cake biagan.
Yeah.
But where you are at, never.
Understand your market, your environment,
Understand.
your customers.
Understand your customers. What are they asking? What are they saying? That is how we grow. But every time we feel like, no, but me, my hobby is in cakes.
And this is what I do.
That's what I do. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
Yeah. That's some great advice. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
It's good. It's good.
About time.
It's good that I came. I've been doing interviews and I have not been comfortable to do interviews of the new Kekli. This is the first loud out interview for the complete Kekli.
Yay! And do check it out.
It has always been the bakery. Now saying
You
it
might
out
find
to the
me
restaurant,
somewhere in a corner.
there. So doing that, I think it has been a good interview.
Thank you.